night, night, flash, 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 I'll be a smash on Broadway!
Picture this. It's 1962, and America's favorite grumpy old man is about to make television history. Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol didn't just adapt Dickens. It pioneered an entire genre of holiday specials that would define childhood for generations. Let's count down 10 wild facts you probably didn't know.
I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look upon me. You have never seen the like of me before.
Number 10. The ghosts showed up out of order. Ever notice something felt off about Scrooge's supernatural visitors? Like someone shuffled the deck before dealing? Here's why. The special flips Dickens' script by having the Ghost of Christmas Present arrive before the Ghost of Christmas Past. This wasn't an accident or sloppy writing. It was a deliberate creative choice that somehow worked despite breaking 120 years of literary tradition.
Mortal and liable to fall.
Touch my hand and you shall be upheld.
Think about it. Millions of kids learned Dickens backwards, and nobody really complained. Teachers didn't riot. Book fans didn't picket NBC. That's either genius storytelling instinct or the greatest Magoo-style blunder in adaptation history. Maybe when you're already playing a nearsighted character, everyone expects a few things to get mixed up.
Neon, like the neon that you see on Broadway!
Number 9. It was UPA's Swan Song. This special arrived during UPA's final days as an animation studio, making it both a triumph and a farewell. After Henry G. Saperstein bought the company, they managed to produce this holiday masterpiece and launch the famous adventures of Mr. Magoo, then quickly collapsed under the weight of television's demands. Why? They were unable to mass-produce cartoons for television at the breakneck pace networks demanded in the early 60s.
Thousands are in want of common comfort, sir.
Are there no prisons?
So that gorgeous Broadway-quality animation you remember, those detailed Victorian streets, those expressive character movements, those theatrical flourishes, it came at the cost of the entire studio. UPA poured everything into making Scrooge's redemption story beautiful, then couldn't survive long enough to enjoy the money or the legacy. Poetic? Tragic? Both, really. They went out on top, but they still went out.
Knowing we're together, heart and hand.
Number 8. Broadway bones under cartoon skin. Forget everything you know about TV Christmas specials. This was a stage play first, animation second. The entire special is written as a Broadway theater play, divided into acts with an actual stage curtain, complete with Magoo arriving backstage, taking his bows to thunderous applause, and accidentally destroying the scenery on his way out in classic bumbling fashion. This wasn't just clever framing or a cute trick. It was the whole point of the exercise. You're not watching Scrooge's story. You're watching Magoo perform Scrooge's story, fourth wall intact and occasionally crumbling. The special operates on 2 levels at once: Victorian drama and modern comedy. Networks later butchered these bookend segments to cram in commercials, which is like removing the bread from a sandwich and calling it progress. If you only remember Victorian streets, ghostly visits, and Tiny Tim's crutch, you missed half the magic. The parts where Magoo reminded you it was all a show.
Am I in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come?
Number 7. Scrooge sees his own grave, and it's terrifying. Let's talk about the moment that scared a generation of kids gathered around their family television sets. The ghost of Christmas yet to come drags Scrooge through a nightmare, an unloved man's death, thieves pawning his belongings to Old Joe in a scene dripping with cruelty, and then, when Scrooge begs to be shown tenderness connected with death, he discovers Tiny Tim is dead. The Cratchit family mourns. Bob Cratchit's voice breaks, but the ghost isn't finished delivering justice. It leads Scrooge to a cemetery covered in fog and shows him his own grave, the ultimate mic drop moment.
Spirit, don't leave me here alone. Oh, I'm afraid.
For a 1962 TV special aimed at families eating dinner in their living rooms, this sequence went hard. No sugarcoating, no fade to black mercy, No reassuring narrator. Just cold Victorian stone with Scrooge's name carved deep, delivering existential dread between commercial breaks for Ovaltine and Frigidaire refrigerators. It's the kind of scene that makes you wonder if the censors just went home early that day.
Huckleberry dressing would be nice.
Number 6. Gerald McBoing Boing spoke, sort of. Tiny Tim wasn't just any character. He was Gerald McBoing Boing in a rare speaking role, which is wild for reasons you need to understand. Here's the twist. Gerald's entire thing, his defining trait since his 1950 debut, was that he only speaks in common noise sounds, never actual words. Boings, whistles, honks, yes. God bless us, everyone. Absolutely not supposed to happen. So how'd they pull off dialogue for the most quotable character in Dickens? The special's comic adaptation reveals the genius workaround. Another actor recorded Tiny Tim's lines, which were played back on a record player, while Gerald mouthed the words in perfect sync. It's basically the world's first animated lip sync controversy, except wholesome and Christmas-themed instead of scandalous. Imagine explaining to 1962 audiences that the kid saying Dickens' most famous blessing was technically a sound effects robot operating on pre-recorded dialogue. Peak Magoo logic, really. Why cast a non-speaking character to speak? Because it's funny, and because you can.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Don't you believe in knocking?
Number 5. An hour when everyone else got 30 minutes. While other specials were speed-running Santa and cramming reindeer into commercial breaks, Magoo took his sweet Victorian time. This special fills an hour-long time slot as opposed to half an hour, which is different from most animated Christmas specials that followed in its wake. That's double the runtime of Rudolph, Charlie Brown, Frosty, and basically everything that became the gold standard afterward.
They're gone! Spirit, they're vanished.
Why does this matter beyond simple math? Because it gave the story room to breathe, to develop, to earn its emotional moments. You got full musical numbers that built and resolved properly. You got character arcs that developed through scenes instead of jumping from plot point to plot point. You got a Scrooge who earned his redemption through a genuine journey instead of fast-forwarding to Christmas morning enlightenment. Modern holiday specials feel rushed and shallow because they're trying to cram Dickens' epic moral transformation into 22 minutes of runtime with 8 minutes of ads. Magoo understood something networks forgot. You can't microwave a Christmas miracle. Number 4. Networks kept butchering it. If your memory of this special feels incomplete or choppy, that's because it probably is. Networks have been carving it up for decades. Cartoon Network removed the entire song "Winter Was Warm" in the 2000s, replacing its emotional reprise in the credits with generic instrumentals. NBC's 2012 airing cutscenes depicting Magoo in the framing device specifically to make room for commercial time, gutting the theatrical elements. Then Freeform went nuclear in 2022, editing out We're Despicable, Plunderer's March, and Magoo and Cratchit's duet on Ringle Ringle, removing both comic relief and musical charm in one ruthless pass.
Ringle, ringle, coins when they mingle, make such a lovely sound.
Each generation saw a different, progressively more chopped-up version of the original masterpiece. It's like watching networks perform surgery on a classic car, removing parts until it barely runs, but insisting it's still the same vehicle. Somewhere in the afterlife, Jules Stein and Bob Merrill are haunting executive boardrooms, rattling chains made of deleted footage.
You're alone, alone in the world.
Number 3. Broadway royalty wrote the songs. This wasn't some random TV composer phoning it in between cigarette breaks. This was the real deal. The special features songs composed by Jules Stein with lyrics by Bob Merrill, two absolute legends who gave Broadway immortal shows like Gypsy, Funny Girl, and How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. Walter Scharf handled orchestrations with the skill of a master craftsman. Together, they created numbers like It's Great to Be Back on Broadway, Alone in the World, The Lord's Bright Blessing, and the heartbreaking Winter Was Warm. These weren't throwaway jingles designed to fill time. They were legitimate theater songs with range, emotional depth, melodic skill, and careful craft. When Scrooge sings Winter Was Warm about his lost love, Belle, you're hearing the same caliber of writing that won Tonys and stopped Broadway shows. For a TV special that aired once a year on a single network, absolute overkill, and we're eternally grateful they didn't cut corners.
Have you visited this dwelling before?
No, I'm certain that I haven't. Never knew.
Number 2. It pioneered the entire genre. Before Rudolph guided any sleighs, before Charlie Brown picked his pathetic tree, before every holiday special you loved, there was Magoo. This was the first animated Christmas special to be produced specifically for television, the ground zero moment, the big bang of a tradition we now take completely for granted. Think about the weight of that. Every animated holiday special that followed, Rankin Bass stop-motion classics, Peanuts' hand-drawn charm, Dr. Seuss's Grinch, Frosty's Magic Hat, all of them owe their existence to a nearsighted old man stumbling through Dickens on December 18, 1962. They all walked through doors Magoo opened, whether they acknowledged it or not. It's the big bang of TV Christmas programming, and most people don't even realize it when they queue up their nostalgic holiday playlists. Without this special taking the risk and proving the format could work, your childhood nostalgia shelf looks very different, possibly non-existent.
Good morning, Brady. Morning, Billings.
No, I don't know much about it either way. I only know he's dead.
Number 1. It became a pop culture phantom. Here's the wildest part. Despite literally changing television forever, it almost vanished into the cultural void. Rights ping-ponged from United Producers Associates to Classic Media to DreamWorks Animation to NBC Universal like a hot potato nobody wanted to hold, with each corporate handoff threatening its availability and cultural survival. It hit VHS in 1982, finally made DVD in 2001, and reached Blu-ray in 2010. But between airings and format transitions, whole generations missed it entirely. Kids in the 80s and 90s grew up never seeing the special that made their favorites possible. Meanwhile, The Simpsons parodied it. SpongeBob SquarePants borrowed the melody of Ringle Ringle for an episode literally called Cha-Ching, and Scrooged included actual clips as Bill Murray's ghost of Christmas Past. The special haunted pop culture like Marley's Ghost, influencing everything, echoing through decades, while remaining frustratingly hard to find for ordinary viewers. For something that invented the wheel, it spent decades locked in various corporate vaults, forgotten by the very industry it created.
Very busy, gentlemen. I bid you good afternoon.
Bonus fact, the special got the book treatment. Want to go deeper down the Magoo rabbit hole? Someone wrote the map for you. In 2010, Daryl Van Sitters, owner of Renegade Animation and Animation Historian, wrote a book that takes a behind-the-scenes look at the making of the special, pulling back the Broadway curtain on production secrets, creative decisions, and studio politics. The original comic adaptation went even further into delightful absurdity, featuring backstage vignettes of Magoo mistaking elaborate wardrobe costumes for actual castmates, plus a real-life recipe for the show's razzleberry dressing that viewers could apparently make at home. Yes, razzleberry dressing, a fictional Victorian condiment made real for American kitchens. Because nothing says Christmas like cooking recipes from animated specials that don't exist in actual Dickens. It's the kind of bonus content that transforms a special into a full universe, the difference between watching something and living inside it. From backwards ghosts to Broadway legends, from pioneering television to nearly disappearing from it entirely, Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol is the ultimate underdog story, wrapped in Victorian clothes and tied with theatrical ribbon. It gave us a Scrooge who literally stumbled into redemption, a Tiny Tim who fake-talked his way into our hearts with pre-recorded blessings, and a template every holiday special still follows 60-plus years later. The special proved animation could handle serious literature, that hour-long formats could work, that Broadway talent belonged on television, and that a bumbling, nearsighted cartoon character could carry Dickens's moral weight without collapsing under it. Until next time, God bless us everyone, and maybe invest in better glasses.
Cratchit!
Oh, you call, sir? In the future, Cratchit, I advise you to take less time in answering.